Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, A Little Bit of Everything, where I talk about a little bit of everything. In today's video, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects, girl groups. Female performers have always been popular, so putting multiple of them in one place is like lightning in a bottle. I've always been a huge girl group fan, and I still am, so I wanted to take you guys down memory lane and see the evolution of these groups from the 1920s up until the 2020s. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. Little Mix is a three-member British girl group formed in 2011 through The X Factor, with members Perry Edwards, Leanne Pinnock, Jay Thirlwall, and former member Jesse Nelson. The group debuted in August 2012 with the single Wings. The song debuted at number 1 on the UK singles chart with first week sales of 106,766 copies, becoming Little Mix's second consecutive number 1 single in the UK after their The X Factor single Cannibal. Their debut album DNA was released in November, peaking at number 3 and selling over 234,000 copies by the end of 2012. In the United States, the album reached number 4 on the Hot 200, the highest chart entry for a debut album by a British girl group, breaking the record previously held by the Spice Girls. The album had 3 more singles: DNA, which peaked at number 3 in the UK, Change Your Life, which peaked at number 12, and How You Doing, featuring Missy Elliott, which peaked at number 16, selling 120,000 copies. On September 23, 2013, Move was released as the first single of their upcoming second album, Salute. The song peaked at number 3 in the UK and number 38 in the US. Since then, Move has been certified gold in the UK for sales of 400,000 copies. Salute was released in November and charted at number 4 on the UK albums chart, selling 426,000 copies in the UK as of 2021. The second single, Little Me, reached number 14 in the UK and was certified silver after selling 200,000 copies. Lastly, Salute was released as the album's third single and went on to become a top 10 hit in Scotland and the UK. In December 2013, the group announced the UK and Ireland dates for their second headlining tour, the Salute Tour. North American dates were added in April 2014, but it was later cancelled due to them wanting to work on their next album. In May 2015, Little Mix released the lead single from the third studio album, Black Magic. The song debuted at number 1 in the UK and remained at the top of the chart for 3 weeks, becoming the first single by a girl group to do so since Sugar Babes' About You Now in November 2007. In the US, it peaked at number 67, becoming their highest-peaking single on the Hot 100. On September 25th, the group released Love Me Like You as the second single from the album. It charted at number 11 on the UK singles chart and was certified platinum for selling 600,000 copies. The group's third studio album, Get Weird, debuted at number 2 in the UK, becoming their highest charting album there. In the US, the album peaked at number 13 on the Hot 200, making Little Mix the only girl group from the UK to have their first 3 albums debut in the top 15 of the Hot 200. The album has been certified double platinum in the UK and has sold over 600,000 units as of August 2016, making it their best-selling album yet. The first single of their third album, Shout Out to My Ex, debuted at number 1 on the UK singles chart, becoming their 4th chart-topping single. It sold 67,000 downloads in its opening week, becoming the biggest opening week download sales for a song in 2016 in the UK, and has been notorious for Paris's opening verse, which is directed at her ex-boyfriend, Zayn Malik. The group's 4th album, Glory Days, was released on November 18, 2016, and debuted at number 1 on the UK albums chart, becoming the group's first UK number 1 album, and the 8th girl group in history to achieve a number 1 album in the country. It sold 96,000 copies in combined sales in the first week, which is the highest first week sales for a UK girl group number 1 since the Spice Girls in 1997, and the fastest selling number 1 album by any girl group in 15 years, since Destiny's Child Survivor in 2001. The album also spent 5 weeks at number 1 on the UK albums chart, making it the longest reigning girl group number 1 since the Spice Girls' debut 20 years earlier. From February to April 2017, the group toured North America as one of the opening acts for Ariana Grande on her Dangerous Woman tour. The group then embarked on their own tour, the Glory Days Tour, which began on May 24, 2017. In October 2018, the group announced Woman Like Me as a lead single from their 5th studio album, LM5, featuring Nicki Minaj. It debuted at number 5 on the UK singles chart, later peaking at number 2. After the release of the song, the group was dragged into a feud between Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, with Cardi B claiming that the song was sent to her first before giving the feature to Minaj. The group went on to address the situation in a tweet saying that both rappers were approached by their label to work on the song, but Nicki was approached first. LM5 was released in November 2018 and was serviced by RCA UK and Columbia Records, with future records to be released by the latter, which is probably the reason why the album wasn't very successful, but that's another story for another day. In March 2020, Polestar released a list of the 50 highest grossing female tours of the previous 2 decades from 2000 to 2019. Being placed as the second girl group on the list, only behind the Spice Girls, with $94.8 million gross and 1.7 million tickets sold. Little Mix embarked on their virtual concert titled Little Mix Uncancelled in August, after their summer 2020 tour got cancelled due to the pandemic. The first single from their upcoming album, Sweet Melody, was released in October, as well as an accompanying music video. The music video caused some rumors of a disbandment after Jessie was missing from some group shots. Following an illness that prevented Jessie from performing during the final of Little Mix The Search and co-host the 2020 MTV EMAs, it was announced by the group's publicist on November 17, 2020, that she would take an extended hiatus from the group for medical reasons. And on December 14, 2020, Jessie announced her departure from the group due to mental health struggles. In April 2021, a remix of Confetti was released as the title track of their most recent album, featuring American rapper s.e.s, debuting at number 15 on the UK singles chart and being their first single as a trio. In May 2021, Little Mix were announced as the winners in the Best Group category at the 2021 Global Awards and became the first ever girl group to win the Brit Awards for a British group at the 2021 Brit Awards. On August 19, the group announced that they would release their first greatest hit album, Between Us, in celebration of the group's 10-year anniversary. And in December, they announced that they would be going on a hiatus following the completion of their planned Confetti tour in 2022 in order to recharge and work on solo projects. Fifth Harmony is a 4-member girl group formed in 2012 during the competition show The X Factor, with members Normani Corday, Lauren Jauregui, Ali Brooke, Dinah Jane, and former member Camila Cabello. Their debut single, Miss Moving On, was released on July 16, 2013, as the lead single from their debut EP, and peaked in the Hot 100 at number 76. Their debut extender play Better Together was released on October 22nd, selling 28,000 copies in its first week and peaking at number 6 in the Hot 200. The lead single of the group's debut full album, Boss, was released on July 7, 2014. It peaked at number 43 on the Hot 100 with first week sales of 75,000 and received a platinum certification in the US for selling 1 million digital downloads and stream combined. The second single from Reflection, Sledgehammer, was released on October 28, 2014. It went on to become the group's first top 40 entry on the Hot 100 and was certified platinum in the United States. Their debut studio album, Reflection, was ultimately released on February 3, 2015. It entered the Hot 200 at number 5 with 80,000 units and was eventually certified gold. The third single from the album, Worth It, featuring American rapper Kid Ink, was released on March 2, 2015, and became the group's most successful single at the time, peaking at number 12 on the Hot 100, earning the group a triple platinum certification. The album was supported by the group's first major headlining tour, the Reflection Tour, in which they visited 63 cities in North America and 6 cities in Europe. On February 26, 2016, the group released the first single of their second album, Work From Home, featuring Ty Dolla $ign. The song peaked at number 4 on the Hot 100 and became the group's highest charting single in the United States. It also became the first top 5 for an all-female group in almost a decade, following the Pussycat Dolls' Buttons, which peaked at number 3. Their second studio album, 727, was released on May 27, 2016. It debuted at number 4 on the Hot 200 with 74,000 album equivalent units, making it the group's highest charting album to date, and was supported with the 727 tour, which started on June 22, 2016. The third and last single of the album was That's My Girl, which would go on to act as the last single with Camila Cabello, since soon thereafter it was announced that she would be leaving the group. Their first single without Camila was Down. It was released on June 2, 2017 and peaked at number 42 on the Hot 100, while their third studio album, Fifth Harmony, was released on August 25, 2017 and debuted at number 4 on the Hot 200. On August 9th, they announced that they would embark on their third and final official concert tour in support of the album, and on March 19, 2018, the group made the decision to take an indefinite hiatus to pursue solo projects. Before their hiatus, the group completed a final run of shows and released a music video for the song Don't Say You Love Me. Red Velvet is a 5-member girl group under SM Entertainment consisting of members Bae Joohyun aka Irene, Kang Seolgi, Park Soyoung aka Joy, Kim Jerim aka Jetty, and Song Seungwon aka Wendy. They had their official debut on August 4th, 2014 with the single Happiness without Jetty. The original music video for Happiness gained more than 2 million views on YouTube on its first 24 hours, before being removed due to controversy over problematic background images and replaced with an edited version. Red Velvet became the first K-pop girl group to chart a debut single on the Billboard World Digital Songs chart, where it peaked at number 4. The group released their second digital single, Be Natural, on October 13th, which was a remake of the 2000 single of the same name by s.e.s. It peaked at number 33 on the Gaon Digital chart and number 6 on the World Digital Songs chart. All of this success led to Red Velvet winning Rookie of the Year at the Golden Disc Awards and at the Seoul Music Awards. In February 2015, SM Entertainment announced the former SM Rookies member, Jerry, would officially join the group on March 11, 2015. Preceded by the release of Automatic, the group's first mini-album, Ice Cream Cake, was released on March 17, 2015, to critical and commercial success. It became the best-selling album by a girl group in South Korea for the first half of 2015 on the Hanteo chart. Red Velvet has separated themselves from their contemporaries by having a double concept, meaning the group will release both Bright and Cute, aka Red, and Dark and Sexy, aka Velvet, songs. On September 9th, 2015, the group released The Red, which debuted at number 1 on the World Albums chart and the Gaon Album chart, with the lead single Dum Dum, peaking at number 2 on the Gaon Digital chart and number 3 on the Billboard World Digital Songs chart. This was followed by the release of The Velvet on March 17, 2016. The album debuted and topped the weekly Gaon album chart for 1 week, becoming the group's third consecutive chart topper with 48,866 copies sold, while the title track, One of These Nights, debuted and peaked at number 10 on the Gaon Digital chart, while making its appearance at number 5 on the download chart with 126,432 digital downloads within the first week. Red Velvet has also become notorious for their horror concept music videos and songs, which have become some of their most successful releases. For example, Russian Roulette, released on September 7, 2016, the song peaked at number 2 on the Gaon Digital chart and Billboard's World Digital Song chart, making it their highest ranking on both charts at the time. And on October 17, 2017, they released Peekaboo, which peaked at number 2 on the Billboard's World Digital Songs chart, tying Russian Roulette. Red Velvet has also been called the Summer Queens, thanks to their summertime releases such as The Red Summer with the lead single Red Flavor. The album topped the Gaon album chart and the Billboard World Albums chart, while the title track debuted atop the Gaon Digital chart, with the other 4 songs from the EP also charting in the top 50. Summer Magic, with its lead single Power Up, earned the group a perfect all-kill for the first time in their careers when it topped all of South Korea's real-time daily and weekly music charts upon release. And the Rap Festival Day 2, and its lead single Oompa Oompa, which reached number 1 on 4 of the 7 major real-time charts in Korea, while reaching number 3 on Korea's largest music platform, Melon, and earned the group a win for Song of the Year at the 2019 Asia Artist Awards. Still, I think it would be correct to say that the group's most successful and famous songs, at least in the Western K-pop fandom, are their darker songs such as the aforementioned Peekaboo, Bad Boy, which debuted at number 2 on the Gaon Digital charts, and Psycho, which debuted at number 2 on the South Korea's Gaon Digital chart and topped the Gaon download charts for 2 weeks, giving the group their 6th number 1 song on the chart. The group has also found success in Japan with the release of 2 mini-albums and 1 full album. They have managed to sell over 65,000 copies combined and peaked in the top 5 with every release. In 2019, while at the height of their popularity and success, the group suffered a terrific accident when Wendy fell during a rehearsal for SBA Gallo Dayon and suffered fractures in her pelvis and wrist as well as injuries to her face. Despite this, the group performed that night and finished their La Roche tour as a 4-piece, and in order to make up for their lack of group comebacks, Irene and Solgi debuted in a subunit, while Joey debuted as a soloist. On January 1st, 2021, the group returned as 5 members after a 1-year-long hiatus for SM Town's live Culture Humanity. This also marked the return of Irene, who had been on hiatus after it was exposed that she mistreated staff members. On August 16th, 2021, they released their 6th Korean EP, Queendom, including the lead single of the same name. The EP debuted at number 2 on the Gaon album chart and tripled the group's first week sales by selling 207,399 copies, while the title track peaked at number 5 on the Gaon chart, number 7 in the K-pop Hot 100, and number 10 in the US World Digital chart. On March 21st, 2022, they released the EP The Rap Festival 2022, Feel My Rhythm, including the lead single Feel My Rhythm. The album accumulated 516,866 total pre-orders, a career high for the group, making them a 500,000 seller, while the title track debuted and peaked at number 3 on the Gaon Digital chart.
Tell me what you want, tell me what you need.
TWICE is a 9-member girl group created by the K-pop company JYP Entertainment through a competition show called 16. The group consists of members Im Nayeon, Ju Youngyoung, Park Jihyo, Kim Dahyun, Son Cheyoung, Cho Chui, Sana Minatosaki, Hirai Momo, and Mina Sharon Myoy. TWICE made their official debut on October 20th, 2015, with the release of their debut EP, The Story Began, with its lead single Like Ua. While the EP peaked at number 1 on the Gaon album chart, the lead single met moderate success, peaking at number 10 on the Gaon digital chart. Despite the successful reception, it wasn't until their comeback with the mini-album Page 2 and its lead single Cheer Up that TWICE became a phenomenon. The album sold around 41,800 copies in its first week, becoming the highest first-week sales by a girl group for that year. By August, Page 2 had sold over 150,000 copies, making TWICE the first girl group to have sold more than 100,000 units that year. Meanwhile, the album's lead single, Cheer Up, became the group's first chart topper in South Korea, debuting at number 1 on 8 real-time music charts immediately after its release, before going on to debut atop both the Gaon digital chart and the K-pop Hot 100 chart. Notably, the song became a viral meme in South Korea due to the Shy 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 line sung by Sana. Eventually, the song became the best-performing single in South Korea for the entirety of 2016. Cheer Up also received international success, debuting and peaking at number 3 on the World Digital Song Sales chart. After this, the group would become renowned for their cute concept that saw the girls singing about love with high-pitched voices and choreographies that were easy to recreate by the public. Releases such as TT, whose album Twice Coaster Lane 1 became the best-selling K-pop girl group album of 2016, selling 350,852 copies at the year end and becoming one of the best-performing songs in 2016, claiming the top spot of the Gaon digital chart for 4 consecutive weeks and becoming the best-selling single in South Korea for the month of November. Their first full-length Korean album, Twice-tagram, with its lead single Likey, which debuted atop both the World Albums and World Digital Song Sales chart, making it the group's first number 1 on both charts, and TWICE the first female K-pop act to simultaneously top both Billboard charts. And What Is Love, with the lead single of the same name, which sold 335,235 copies in the first month, and made TWICE the first female artist and the 5th act to earn a platinum certification by the KMCA for selling over 250,000 copies, have made TWICE not only be crowned as the queens of the cute concept, but also be given the honorary title of the nation's girl group, a title that is also held by Girls' Generation. TWICE has also become one of the top groups in Japan, in part thanks to their Japanese line and their cute concept. They have released 4 full albums, all of which had peaked in the top 2 of the Oricon album chart, and sold over 770,000 copies. They have also released 14 singles, only 5 of which didn't peak in the top 3 on the Oricon chart, and sold over 2.2 million downloads. Lastly, they have also performed 4 Japanese-focused tours, with 22 performances in front of a total of 325,000 fans, becoming the first K-pop group and the second girl group overall following AKB48 to hold a 3-day concert at the Tokyo Dome. TWICE has had what is, in my opinion, one of the best transitions from a cute into a more adult concept, mainly due to the fact that they didn't go from adorable straight into girl crush, but instead just naturally matured their original concept. Starting with the release of songs such as Dance the Night Away and Yes or Yes, and the hit single Fancy, whose album sold 314,323 copies and saw the group exceeding a total of over 3.7 million album copies sold from their 12th Korean release. The evolution was completed with the release of their 8th EP, Feel Special, on September 23, 2019. The single scored the group's second number 1 entry in the World Digital Song Sales chart and increased TWICE's popularity across North America, as the single debuted on the Canadian Hot 100 at number 82, making them the 3rd K-pop girl group and 9th K-pop act to appear on this chart. It also sold over 151,000 copies, breaking the group's own first-week album sales record. In 2019, TWICE sold over 1 million albums on Gaon, achieving this feat for the 3rd consecutive year, while in Japan, the group surpassed 5 billion yen worth of record sales and was the best-selling foreign artist and ranked 4th overall in the artist sales category of the 52nd Oricon annual ranking. The group's 9th Korean EP, More and More, was released on June 1st with the lead single of the same name. A month after its release, the EP recorded over 563,000 sales on Gaon, making it not only TWICE's best-selling album to date, but also setting a record for having the highest sales volumes for a girl group in Gaon chart history. The EP debuted at number 200 on the Hot 200, making TWICE the 5th South Korean girl group to enter the chart. The group released their second Korean studio album, Eyes Wide Open, on October 26th with the lead single I Can't Stop Me. 2 months later after their release, It debuted at number 72 on the Hot 200, marking the group's highest entry of the chart, surpassing More and More, as well as making Twice only the third K-pop girl group to break within the top 100 on the chart, eventually selling 545,134 copies. The group's 10th Korean EP, Taste of Love, was released on June 11th and debuted at number 6 on the Billboard 200, becoming Twice's first top 10 album in the United States, with 46,000 album equivalent units earned, eventually selling 559,093 copies and becoming the group's best-reviewed album. The group released their first official English-language single, The Feels, on October 1st. It debuted at number 83 on the Hot 100, marking the group's first appearance on the chart. The song also made its way to the UK Singles Chart, where it peaked at number 80. The group's third Korean studio album, Formula of Love, was released on November 12 with the title track Scientist. The album peaked at number 3 on the Hot 200, breaking Taste of Love's records, and marked 700,000 units sold during its pre-order record, becoming their second best-selling album with 808,866 copies sold. On July 12th, all members of Twice renewed their contract with JYP Entertainment, and the same day it was announced they were scheduled to release their 11th Korean EP, Between 1 and 2, on August 26th, with which they became million sellers after hitting over 1 million pre-orders, becoming the third group to do so after Blackpink and Aespa, showing that no matter what anybody says, Twice is still at their peak.
Ha, how you like that? You gonna like that? Da, da, da.
Blackpink is a K-pop girl group created by YG Entertainment. The group consists of members Jennie Kim, Lalisa Monovan aka Lisa, Roseanne Park aka Rose, and Kim Jisoo. While the group has become notorious for the long hiatuses, this wasn't the case from debut. The group released their debut single album, Square One, on August 8, 2016, consisting of the tracks Boombayah and Whistle. They charted at number 1 and 2 on the Billboard World Digital Song Sales chart, making Blackpink the fastest act to achieve this, and the third YG Entertainment artist to hold top 2 positions simultaneously after s.e.s and Big Bang. The group came back only 3 months later with the release of their second single album, Square 2, consisting of tracks Playing with Fire and Stay. Playing with Fire was Blackpink's second single to reach number 1 on the World Digital Song Sales chart, and the first K-pop girl group song to chart on the Canadian Hot 100. In South Korea, Playing with Fire peaked at number 3, while Stay placed in the top 10. While the group is better known for their girl crush concept, they have also released lighter and cuter songs, which became huge hits, such as If It's Your Last, which peaked at number 3 on the Gaon Digital chart and at number 13 on the Bubbling Under chart, which gave them the highest charting Korean song by a group in America at the time, and made Blackpink the highest charting Korean group since Wonder Girls. On June 15, 2018, the group blew up with the release of Square Up. In South Korea, Square Up debuted at number 1 on the Gaon album chart and sold 250,000 units, while the lead single, Do 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 Do, peaked at number 1 on the digital download, streaming, and mobile charts on Gaon for 3 weeks and debuted at number 55 on the Hot 100, making Blackpink the highest charting Korean group in the US, while Forever Young peaked at number 2. The group has also become one of the top girl groups in Japan. They made their Japanese debut on August 30th, 2017, with the release of the self-titled album. It included Japanese versions of the previous singles, which debuted and peaked atop the Oricon album chart. They also embarked on their sold-out first Japan tour, Blackpink Area Tour 2018. The tour was officially set for 6 shows across Osaka, Fukuoka, and Chiba, but an additional show in Chiba was added due to overwhelming demand. After the release of Square Up, the group went on a 10th-month hiatus until April 5th, 2019, when they released Kill This Love, alongside the single of the same name. The EP debuted at number 3 on the Gaon album chart, sold 500,000 units in the country, and debuted at number 24 on the Hot 200, while the lead single peaked at number 2 on the Gaon digital chart and number 41 on the Hot 100, becoming the highest charting release by a female Korean act on the 2 major Billboard charts. After this, the group went on a 13-month-long hiatus until June 28, 2020, when they released How You Like That as the pre-release single for their upcoming debut album. It peaked at number 1 on the Gaon digital download and streaming charts for 3 weeks and became Blackpink's 5th song to chart in the Hot 100, peaking at number 33. The group released their first Korean studio album, The Album, on October 2nd, 2020, with Lovesick Girls as the main single. The album peaked at number 2 on the Hot 200 and the UK Albums chart, making Blackpink the highest charting Korean female act on each. It also set a first-week album sales records for a Korean girl group, with 590,000 copies sold in just 1 day after the physical album's release, and made Blackpink the first ever million-selling K-pop girl group, selling approximately 1.2 million copies in less than 1 month after release. After this, the group went on a 2-year-long hiatus until July 2022, when they held a virtual in-game concert, including performances of the group's hit songs as well as the special title track, Ready for Love. On July 31st, it was announced that the group's second album, Born Pink, would be released on September 16, preceded by a pre-release single titled Pink Venom, on August 19th. The album broke pre-order records after selling more than 2 million copies, while the song became the most streamed song by a female artist in a single day in 2022 so far in Spotify.
Yeah, tomboy.
Idol is a 5-member group from Cube Entertainment with members Jeon Soyeon, Choi Mi-yeon, Nicha Jeon Taradak, aka Minnie, Jae Shuhwa, Song Ju-ki, and former member Seo Sojin. The group has become renowned for being self-produced, as member Soyeon is the main writer and producer of all of the group's songs, with other members slowly joining the process. The group released their debut EP, I Am, on May 2nd, 2018, with La Tata serving as the lead single. The EP debuted at number 13 on the Gaon album chart and peaked at number 5 on Billboard World's albums chart, while the single debuted at number 35 on the Gaon digital chart. On August 14, their first digital single, Han Alone, was released. It topped domestic music charts including Bugs, Jenny, and Ole Music, and peaked at number 2 on the Billboard World Digital Song Sales chart. In November, Soyeon and Mi-yeon voiced Akali and Adi, members of the virtual group KDA, for the single Pop Star. Throughout the rest of 2018, Idol won several Rookie of the Year awards at major Korean year-end music awards, including the Asian Artist Awards, Gaon Chart Music Awards, Genie Music Awards, Golden Disc Awards, Korea Popular Music Awards, and Melon Music Awards. On June 26, 2019, the group released their second digital single, Ooh. The song ranked at number 22 on NetEase Cloud Music China for the first half of 2019, making them the only K-pop group on the chart. They subsequently participated in a reality girl group survivor show created by Mnet called Queendom, which pushed the group onto the spotlight due to their amazing performances. They released Lion as part of the EP, Queendom Final Comeback, which peaked at number 5 on the World Digital Song Sales chart. On April 6, 2020, the group released their third EP titled I Trust, with Oh My God as its lead single. The album recorded over 91,311 pre-orders, making it their most pre-order EP, and becoming their highest-selling album with 100,000 physical copies sold in 3 days. It also debuted atop the Gaon album chart, becoming their first #1 album in South Korea. On August 3rd, the group released their first single album, Dum Dee Dum Dee, with the lead single of the same name. With this release, the song ranked as the second best-selling girl group single album in history. However, the song had a slow rise on the chart, debuting at number 27 and 15 on the Gaon Digital charts and World Digital Song Sales chart, and later peaking at number 8 and 13 respectively. On January 11, 2021, the group released their fourth EP, I Burn, with its lead single, Hua. The album debuted at number 1 on the Hangul Daily album chart with 75,510 copies sold, and the Gaon retail album chart with 59,086 copies sold, while the song topped domestic charts and peaked at number 5 on K-pop Hot 100 and number 8 on the World Digital Songs. As 2021 was shaping up to be the group's most successful year yet, everything came to a halt when Soojin was accused of being a school bully and eventually left the group, which led the group to go on a hiatus and the remaining members to focus on solo activities. Their first release as 5 was the album I Never Die with the title track Tomboy, which became a chart topper in South Korea on both the Gaon Digital chart and the K-pop Hot 100, as well as South Korea's Billboard, where it remained for 2, 3, and 2 consecutive weeks respectively. On March 24th, the group managed to achieve a perfect all-kill when the song topped on the top 100 in several domestic music sites. Collectively, it spent 167 hours, becoming the second group to achieve a perfect all-kill that year. Meanwhile, the B-side track My Bag became the group's highest charting B-side, peaking at 22 on the weekly Gaon Digital chart, 34 in the K-pop Hot 100, and 9 on South Korea's Billboard chart. Itzy is a 5-member girl group formed by JYP Entertainment with members Shin Ryujin, Shin Juna, Won Jeji, Lee Chaeryeong, and Choi Jisoo, aka Leah. From the very beginning, Itzy differentiated themselves from their counterparts by being a dance-focused group. Their choreographies were very intricate and hard to perform, especially live, which is something that they do. On top of that, they also had moves that were fairly easy to recreate by the average K-pop fan, meaning that their choreographies and songs could easily go viral. Itzy debuted with a fresh and youthful concept that focused on self-love, confidence, high self-esteem, and friendship. something that called the attention of K-pop fans since the industry at the time was saturated with hard-hitting and dark girl crush concepts. Their debut single album, It's Different, led by the single Dala Dala, scored one of the biggest Billboard debuts for a new K-pop act in years, entering at number 3 and peaking at number 2 on the World Digital Song Sales chart. And on February 21st, 8 days after their debut, Itzy received their first music show win, breaking the record for the fastest time for a girl group to achieve their first music show win. In November 2019, Dala Dala surpassed 100 million streams on Gaon Music Chart, earning the group their first platinum certification, becoming the first debut song by a K-pop group to earn a platinum certification from the KMCA since the introduction of certifications in April 2018. Itzy's first EP, s.e.s, was released on July 29th along with the lead single, Icy. The EP peaked at number 3 on the Gaon album chart, while the title track debuted at number 11 on the Gaon digital chart. At the end of the year, Itzy won several Best New Female Artist awards, including at the 2019 Melon Music Awards and the 2019 Mnet Asian Music Awards. On March 9, they released their second EP, It's Me, and its lead single, Wannabe. The album debuted at number 1 on the Gaon album chart, making it the group's first number 1 album in the country. It also debuted at number 5 on the World Albums chart, their highest position on the chart at the time, while Ryujin's Shoulder Dance took the industry by storm after going viral. Not Shy and the title track of the same name were released on August 17th. The album debuted at number 1 on the Gaon album chart with sales of over 219,000 units, and the group became the first female act in 2020 to have more than 2 number 1 extended plays. On April 30th, the group released their fourth EP, Guess Who, and its lead single, In the Morning. The EP entered the Billboard 200 at number 148, making it their first appearance on the chart, while the song peaked at number 10 on the Gaon digital chart. On September 24th, Itzy released their first studio album, Crazy in Love, and its lead single, Loco. The album debuted at number 11 on the Hot 200, a new career high, and has sold over 600,000 copies, with more than 200,000 of those being pre-release orders. The group saw a huge increase in sales with their follow-up release, Checkmate, which has sold over 1 million copies since release, marking Itzy's fourth number 1 album on the Gaon chart and their highest-selling album to date. It also debuted at number 8 on the Hot 200, becoming Itzy's first top 10 album in the United States.
I'm on the next level. 저 너머의 문을 열어 next level.
Aespa is a 4-member girl group from SM Entertainment, consisting of members Ju Jimin, aka Karina, Kim Minyoung, aka Winter, Ning Jishuo, aka Ning Ning, and Ushinaga Aeri, aka Giselle. The group debuted with what at the time was one of the most unique concepts in K-pop, in which the group members would be accompanied by IA members to represent the real members and would exist within a world called Kwanya, alongside the other SM artists. The group debuted in November 2020 with the single Black Mamba, which peaked at number 43 on the Gaon digital chart and debuted at number 5 on the World Digital Songs, giving Aespa their first top 5 hit on the charts. Their third single, Next Level, was released on May 17, 2021. It peaked at number 2 on the Gaon digital chart, becoming their first top 5 hit in South Korea, and also became their third song to chart on the World Digital Song Sales chart, peaking at number 3. The song became a huge hit despite its structure being completely different from an average song, and the choreography went viral. On October 5th, the group released their first EP, Savage, with the title track of the same name. The EP marked the group's first and highest entry on the Hot 200, peaking at number 20. It debuted atop the Gaon album chart and sold 513,292 copies in 15 days, while the song achieved an all-kill when it was number 1 on Melon, Genie, Bugs, Vibe Daily Chart, Flow, and iChart. Towards the end of the year, the group won their first Daesang Award for Stage of the Year at the Asian Artist Awards, at the 2021 Melon Music Awards for Record of the Year, and in early 2020 they won Artist of the Year at the Golden Disc Awards. On November 4th, the group released a cover of Dreams Come True, which peaked at number 17 on the Gaon digital charts and at number 7 on the Billboard World Digital Songs chart. In July, the group released their second EP, Girls, with the lead single of the same name. The album sold over 1 million copies in pre-orders, achieving a total of 1.6 million copies as of the writing of the script. It debuted on number 3 on the Hot 200 with 56,000 album equivalent units, including 53,000 pure album sales, making it the highest album of the week and Aespa's first US top 10 album, while the title track peaked at number 8 in the Gaon digital charts and number 6 in the World Digital Song Sales chart. NiziU is a J-pop group created by JYP Entertainment through the competition show Nizi Project. The group members are Arai Ayaka, Mayuka Ogou, Nina Makino, Mihi Susuno, Rima Nakabayashi, Riku Oe, Mako Yamaguchi, Maya Katsumura, and Ryo Hanabashi. The group's digital pre-debut EP, Make You Happy, was pre-released on June 30th, 2020 in Japan and South Korea, before being released internationally on July 1st, 2020. It topped Billboard Japan's Hot Album charts and the Oricon Digital Album chart. On December 2nd, 2020, they officially debuted in Japan with Step and a Step. The song topped Japan's Oricon Weekly Music Chart, with the group becoming the second Japanese group to reach number 1 on the charts with a debut album, following Inatasaka 46. The song also topped the Billboard Japan Hot 100, becoming the group's first chart topper as it sold 318,562 copies in its first week. The group uploaded the music video of their double A side single, Take a Picture, on March 29, 2021, with the song topping the real-time charts of several major Japanese music sites. It received over 12.5 million streams in its first week, surpassing the first week streaming numbers of Step and a Step and setting an all-time high record for the weekly Oricon streaming chart. Poppin' Shaking was later released as the B-side and recorded sales of over 317,000 copies in its first week. And in November, the group released their first full album, You, with the single Shopstick, with the album selling over 241,000 copies. In April 2022, the group released Asobo, which sold 13,791 copies, and in July, they released Clap Clap, which sold 131,647 copies. Currently, the group is on their first tour, which is supposed to start on August 13th and end on October 5th. IVE is a 6-member group under Starship Entertainment with members Yang Wo-young, Naoi Rei, Lee Hyun-seo aka Leseo, An Ju-jin, Kim Ji-won aka Liz, and Kim Gail. The group debuted on December 1st, 2021 with the single album 11, led by the single of the same name. It ranked at number 9 on the World Digital Song Sales chart and charted on the Billboard Global 200 and Billboard Global charts for 14 consecutive weeks. Exactly 1 week after debut, IVE earned their first music show win, making them the fastest girl group to win first place since debut. They went on to win 13 more times, including a triple crown on Music Bank, Music Core, and Inkigayo. In addition, 11 recorded the most album sales in its first week of release for a girl group debut album, with a total of 338,141 copies. On April 5th, IVE released their second single album, Love Died, led by the single of the same name. The single drew 28.9 million streams. On the Billboard charts, it reached number 10 on the global charts, becoming the group's first song to reach the upper tier, and according to Hanteo chart, the album has risen to the top 10 all-time list of the highest girl group weekly album sales, after getting over 338,000 sales. In August 2022, the group released their third single album, Afterlike, with the single of the same name, which managed to sell 464,690 copies in its first day of sales alone, and has made the group a million seller in less than a year since debut, with only 6 songs. Well, that was a lot. 100 years of greatness. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. I obviously couldn't talk about every group, so a lot of big and significant groups such as Escape, En Vogue, Bewitch, Luna, Stacy, Le Sserafim, New Jeans, and others were left out of the video. This doesn't mean that I don't like them. I do a lot, but I didn't want the video to be 5 hours long. I also didn't talk about recent Western groups such as Flow and Boys World because they're still very new and haven't made much of an impact yet. I think it's still too early to determine whether they will be successful or not, but I'm keeping an eye on them. Make sure to like and subscribe, let me know what your favorite girl group is, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!